Motorcycle riders feel they are being singled out for harassment by authorities. The LTO, the HPG, LGUs, police. Authorities claim no harassment is being done but maintain they are duty-bound to enforce regulations covering riders, like they do on all other motorized vehicles, all for road and public safety. Can this conflict in perception be resolved? Are stakeholders moving to resolve this conflict? Motoring Forum takes another look at this riddle.
The motorcycle has become the most popular mode of transportation for Filipinos. Every year, tens of thousands of new motorcycles are registered and find themselves on the road. It's cheap to own, maintain and use, and very convenient in heavy traffic. They are, it must be said, the fastest mode of getting from point A to point B in urban centers, heavily populated with people and vehicles. This is especially true during rush hours when more major thoroughfares are more often than not gridlocked. But this convenience may come at a price, at least according to riders groups themselves. Their number, and according to them, vague or unreasonable regulations, both national and local, make them easy targets for harassment. Riders perennially complain about on-again, off-again drives or campaigns conducted by the Land Transportation Office and usually coordinated with the Highway Patrol Group to enforce various regulations only pertinent to motorcycles. Lately, the campaigns are all about aftermarket accessories and spare parts for motorcycles, including LED or high-intensity lights and mufflers, etc. Riders complain that those conducting the drivers sometimes don't seem to know what is banned or not, what LEDs are allowed, the allowed rear and brake lights. What is worse is that they arbitrarily confiscate what they believe are illegally attached lights and other accessories. Then there are many ordinances passed and implemented by local governments that run contrary to national regulations. These ordinances are not uniform from city to city, town to town, or province to province. For example, the use of helmets. Some cities ban full helmets and use of balaclavas that cover the face. Some only allow open-faced helmets. Some even ban the use of them altogether, all in the name of security and the fight against criminality. Riders groups argue this is a form of discrimination against those who use motorcycles, being automatically suspected as criminals. This is manifested in police setting up checkpoints to stop all motorcycle riders, to check their licenses and certificates of registration, and inspect motorcycle compartments for contraband items or weapons. Sometimes police go as far as frisking riders and their passengers. All riders, they say, will experience this form of discrimination at least once in their motorbiking experience. Then there are regulations on passengers riding in tandem on motorcycles. While there is already a national law on who and how many can ride as passengers of motorbikes, some cities ban riding in tandem. Others place restrictions on allowable passengers, even specifying degrees of familial relationship who can ride in tandem, or setting ages, or if the passenger can reach the foot pegs comfortably. Riders also gripe about restricting them to specific lanes on major thoroughfares. The lanes are either dangerous to get on or stay on, and they have to share this lane with vehicles with more than 2 wheels. It would be better, less dangerous, and fair if lanes were exclusive to their own use. Government authorities, particularly the Land Transportation Office and the PNP Highway Patrol Group, say they are willing to listen and are open to suggestions on how to better and make safer the riding experience of motorcycle owners. However, they deny the allegations of harassment or even to singling out motorcycle riders for strict enforcement of traffic regulations. The LTO maintains it is duty-bound to enforce regulations that are meant to make motorcycles safer for riders and to other users on the road, other vehicles, and pedestrians. The LTO also claims the memorandums, directives, and regulations for such things as the use of allowable LEDs and other accessories are clearly laid out. It points out that after talks, dialogues, and consultations with biker associations, the LTO even amended rules to allow the use of fog lamps and auxiliary headlamps, which use LEDs as follows. They have to be white or selective yellow, have fixed mounting, and should not be used on well-lit streets or when meeting other vehicles. The auxiliary headlights should not have more than 6 bulbs per lamp and not combined as one unit or placed together to form a bar. The LTO added that only its enforcers, or those it duly deputizes, can apprehend riders for violating its regulations and can confiscate banned lights or accessories. The HPG also disabused the perception that motorcycle riders were being institutionally harassed. It only assists the LTO in its campaigns to enforce regulations and don't conduct drives on its own. On hearing about allegations of abuse, such as illegal confiscations of allowable headlamps by its members during anti-legal LED campaigns or drives, the HPG said all complaints of abuse or misinterpretations of regulations should be formally filed so these can be investigated and the perpetrators, if any, punished. As for the proliferation of differing ordinances on riding in tandem, the use of helmets and balaclavas, and other restrictions on the use of motorcycles, both the LTO and the HPG noted that they continue to be open to participating in more consultations and public hearings in the House and the Senate for a uniform national law covering the motorcycle and its proper use. Both said they welcome and support the initiatives of senators and representatives in the House to come up with an omnibus law to govern the sale and proper use of motorcycles. However, both are silent on the issue of lawful motorcycle owners and riders who have to suffer the inconvenience of being stopped and frisked at checkpoints by police looking to catch riding in tandem criminals. Observers note that riders may have a reason to feel that they are being harassed, often on campaigns to catch violators and regulators on the use of aftermarket lights and accessories for motorcycles can be seen as harassment. But the LTO and the HPG are in the right in saying that it is their mandate to catch violators, and catch they do, not because of any misapprehension or misreading of LTO directives and issuances. Casual observation of riders using LED lights at night show that many use their so-called fog lamps or high-intensity LED lights even on well-lit streets, or that they are installed in the rear or of the wrong color. There are even brake lights that blink. Other road users complained of being blinded by the auxiliary lights, which may be because these were not properly installed as per regulations, pointing downward and never to be left. These riders will surely be apprehended and be issued citations or tickets, or have the offending lights or accessories confiscated if chanced by the LTO and HPG in their operations. Some observers believe there is much that the LTO and other authorities, as well as motorcycle rider associations and groups, can do to educate the public, especially new buyers or would-be buyers of two-wheeled vehicles, about what accessories or auxiliary lights they can lawfully use to modify their new rides. Both those in government also have much to do to ensure that motorcycle owners and riders, especially the new ones, have the proper skills and knowledge of traffic rules and regulations before they are licensed or permitted to go on the streets. Making the road safe is not the sole responsibility of government and the authorities, but also of all road users, vehicle owners, and drivers or riders, commuters, and pedestrians. Riders are in the right to complain and to have their grievances heard, but they also have the responsibility to be aware of all laws and regulations and to comply with them.
The huge number of riders on the road, and the number seems to be growing exponentially, makes it imperative that authorities must find a way to legislate or come up with regulations to make the streets safe for them and other road users without infringing too much on their right to enjoy owning and using two-wheeled motorized vehicles. It's one difficult endeavor, but one sure thing is needed to solve this problem, and that's open and rational discussion of the issues.
I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
So, why are you back?
I didn't want to miss you.